WBFF-TV in Baltimore. This is Fox 45 Morning News Early Edition.
Marion Somers, also known as Dr. Marion, is an expert in elder care. What you should know when taking care of an aging loved one. She joins us this morning to explain some do's and don'ts to make what could be a difficult time a lot easier. And it's something that a lot of people have to deal with. So how do you make it easy?
Well, one, I wrote a book called Eldercare Made Easier, and within the book I have 10 steps, starting with communication and ending with end-of-life issues. But I wrote it in steps rather than chapters because if somebody is dealing with an elder care issue, they really need to focus in on the immediate problem at hand, whether it's transportation, adapted equipment, or how to hire somebody. So in that process, they can just go to the one step, deal with the issue at hand, and then become more proactive rather than reactive.
Marion, what prompted you to write this? Was it based on your own personal experience, or?
I've been a geriatric care manager for over 35 years, and in that process I have seen people and families just fall apart when there's a health issue or a crisis or somebody that you love, but it's a family member and they're just falling apart, and you feel a social obligation and a moral obligation to help them. And it can be very time-consuming and energy-consuming, and I wanted to help.
You know, I think initially, you know, we talked about 10 steps to make it easier. I don't think it ever gets any easier. It may get a little better, but I don't think it ever gets easier. But what are some of the biggest challenges that people face?
Communication. When you're dealing with an older person, a senior citizen, you want to be able to incorporate them at all times. You don't want to come in like gangbusters and take away their independence. They've lived a very full life. You want to incorporate them in all the decision-making processes. And what happens is sometimes people are so enthusiastic and in their wanting to help that they just kind of come in.
Sure.
But you need
really
to incorporate.
Really quickly, I don't want to cut you off, but I think this is a very important question. How do people manage, or how do caregivers manage stress? How do you manage that when you're in that situation?
I tell the caregiver they must take care of themselves as well as taking care of somebody else. If they don't, the whole thing falls apart. Just like in the airlines, they say, in an emergency, put the mask over your face and then help the person that's sitting next to you, the child or somebody who needs assistance. The same thing goes with caregiving. You must take care of yourself.
Sure. Dr. Marion, thank you very much for joining us. Very, very good advice.
Thank you.
Now, for more information about Dr. Marion and caring for an aging loved one, log on to foxbaltimore.com and click on News Links.